Now let's go to the FET practice 08. This is just, we wanted to have a separate, if you want, topic because of its nature, since it has two subtopics in itself. So environmental intelligence, we want to understand more about our environment. First, to have a new model so that we achieve a deeper understanding of the weather environmental relations, testing theoretical models. So first subtopic of modeling, and then we want to want better, if you want, sensors that can help us to feed this model. Okay. What we dub this topic digital twin for the environment, if you want. So for two subtopics. First, this new technique and dynamic modeling for our environment. Okay, using various inputs, in situ monitoring, remote sensing, observation, combination with environmental data. I'm sure there are a lot of data sources, behavioral, economic, social sciences, and so on. And then we want to see the interplay between the various parts, economics, human behavior, policy, interventions, why not, and what is their impact on the evolution, the environment, but also closing the loop in the other direction, how the evolution of environmental in a certain direction, for good or for worse, is influencing the, let's say, our behavior, just to give an example. The second subtopic, what we want is a new, basically a new next generation of sensors. Okay? Of course, should meters, ideally that are not or under, let's say, monitor under sample till now. Okay, if in a certain area exists already, let's say, monitoring sensors, don't need to double that focus where there is a gap. And then, very important, the research will cover, and the support for us will cover the monitoring, the sensing itself, and not the way that this is transmitted, whether via network or other means. I don't know, drones, for example. So it's just the sensor itself that is covered, that is in scope. These projects are more or less the same, but the let's say the maximum size is slightly lower, only 4 million. Again, the same advice holds. Ask what you need, no more nor less. The same for 30 pages, and important as if you want compare with the previous topic, the cascading grants are not allowed. The same, let's say, parameters are for this one as well. 26 March, the call was reopened and will close on 2nd July. Same thresholds. The budget are, again, 18 million for this one, these two projects from each suit. And there will be the same collaboration agreement with projects. What are the impact? Basically, we want to have impact in 3 categories. New science and technology, creating this community of researchers and innovators that will push this technology further after the end of the project. And we want to have returns for society and economy going up to the market. Okay? Sure. These are the 3 categories, and think how you answer to them. A bit more detail. So again, we want contributions from the technological and the science where it's missing to the consolidating of this radically new technology. Highlight your potential returns in terms of societal or economical impact. This is very, very important. We want to see how your projects are spreading excellence across Europe, again, including building the innovation capacity. So even when this project is finishing, from these potential returns, there is also an impact on the proposers and on the beneficiary, well beyond project lifecycle. And then important to partner with high potential actors in research and innovation, wider engagement, both in terms of stakeholders and also in terms of countries. Regarding the deadlines, I think I already mentioned them. Both calls close on 2nd of July. The FET Open is not 13th of May anymore, but is 3rd of June. And then Innovation Launchpad, 14 October, remains unchanged. And my colleague here will speak about that more detail. Now, let me go very quickly about some tips for successful proposals, because I'm sure some of you are interested about that. We also have some feedback from evaluation of our FET, or our 2019 call. But I think the most aspect that you should not lose from when you start your proposal, when you think about your proposal, is that even within the EIC, within the Pathfinder, the spirit of the initial FET remains the same. We want to go from a cutting-edge science towards a radically new technology. And this visionary aspect and breakthrough even science fiction, it's important to read. Okay? Don't forget about it. When you start your proposal, you should make sure that you have this radically new vision that you are translating in a concrete technological target. Okay, if you miss also this concreteness, I think you miss to be downscored by the proposals. And another hallmark of Pathfinder is the topics that we have today. I think can at least most of them are really interdisciplinary. Think about the first one. Also digital twins, they are interdisciplinary by definition. Okay. Now, good project. We have done the FET in the FET Traces report. We look at around 224 projects from quite some time, and you know we check if what we preach has been matched by those projects, and you see, for example, that 82% of them had radically new project results. Okay, so what we are asking indeed has happened. We have the detail in the FET Traces report. Also the impact on the various axes in terms of knowledge. You know, 19% of them were top cited, and 36 of them had what is called broad stretch. Okay, so have a look at this FET Traces report as you prepare your proposal, and then you can have a better understanding of what can be a good project, a good proposal. Also, I found it quite remarkable that 65% of the project, they say the results they got were unplanned. So in other words, be prepared for unexpected, and your processes should allow this in terms of agility, risk, etc., etc. All of the features that they were prominently in FET have remained and will remain in the Pathfinder. Non-incrementality is, I would say, it's another one. I will not repeat them. In terms of impact, our study has shown impact on around these 4 axes. So make sure you are highlighting this in your proposal. Now we are talking about deep tech. So we want to say, look, for deep tech, you need a strong research base, and you see there from a report from Bosnot Consulting what are the challenges for the deep tech are facing, including lengthy time to market and high capital intensity, and think how Pathfinder Proactive project can help you to overcome these challenges. Okay. In the previous info days, you asked about how to integrate social sciences and humanities and responsible innovation. I put there some links with some reports about, and we also recently had an article in the FED newsletter about some good practices of this integration. Some success cases, just to give you some idea. One of our FED projects, what we call the body on chip, went, not only that was very successful, but the result of the project helped the company and was commercialized quite quickly. And the feedback from the company was that the FET program allowed them to get the balance right between their current challenges and current product and the future project, the future, let's say, their future products. A bit more concrete, some do's and don'ts. First, start with a big ambition. Think of the consortium as an ecosystem so that each member should add concrete value. And I remember a discussion in the consortium where the expert says, look, this whole package shouldn't be here, it's not adding value, etc., etc. The problem that we have is that there is no negotiation this time, and so in the previous time, the conclusion would have been just not included, but now we have to say, no, you have to downscore the proposal because the proposal has to be fit for purpose. So think about that. Collaboration, okay. It's very rare, but when it happens, it's very embarrassing, you know, that there is only one or two partners that write a proposal, and it includes partners and sometimes even experts, basically from the internet. I mean, don't do this, okay? Please don't do this. It's really embarrassing when it happens, and we have to put measures in place to detect this, and then when you have a project, you should communicate widely the result of the project and engage beyond the stakeholder, beyond the consortium itself. I will go very quickly beyond for this section, but we wanted to ask some evaluators, you know, some feedback about how they are looking at various things, what they like or they don't like. Again, this is not one evaluators, but nevertheless, are not all the evaluators, and for sure not the new ones. Okay, so take this with a grain of salt, but nevertheless, it may help you there. And by the way, this is their opinion, not our opinion, and it's not might not be fully represented. So first of all, you heard it. You know, we want radical novelty. How are experts looking at this? You know, some of them are want to see describe the state of the art, and then to say what is this different? Okay, what is the new approach? And so if you don't mention state of the art, you may be difficult. And to compare what you are proposing is different, okay? And what are alternative proposals? Now, what are the interdisciplinary? Because you heard me several times saying you have to be interdisciplinary. What the evaluators are evaluating and what they are looking to assess if the project is interdisciplinary. Okay, you see the questions that they are asking themselves, and for example, they look for consortia that are going beyond the usual interdisciplinary disciplines that are put together. And here you remember my colleague Walter van der Velde, who unfortunately could not be here today, he might join us a bit later, saying, go beyond your next department or even beyond your campus, you know, look who can add value and be excellent in the same time. Okay. And then I found very interesting the question number 6. You know, I'm looking for evidence that while the proposal is based on idea, it will design by all expertise in the consortium. Okay, and please pay attention to what I said before. And then a visionary proposal. You know, what are you looking to that? You say a clear statement, ambitious mission, and concrete ideas. Now, perhaps on the smaller size, you know, some of the proposers or most of them indicated that graphics and pictures are useful, and they can replace a lot of text. Of course, limited 30 pages. So think this to your advantage. And I would stop. Here. We are. You have all the links there for the further information and further help. Use the NCPs that you have to support you, and if you have any question, please address that through them. Normally they can answer a lot of them. If not, they will ask it to us, and then we answer, and we keep everybody informed.